Hello, welcome to Chile Expat Family. I'm Jim Dorchak. Today I'm doing a special question and answer section from one of my viewers, and hopefully these will answer some questions for you, and a lot of other people have been asking. Welcome to Chile Expat Family. Today I'm kind of doing a different thing. I'm going to respond to reader Robert's comments and some questions that he had for me. All good questions, and any question, I guess, is a good question, they say. So let's get to it really quick. Bear with me, I'm reading his questions as I go. First question. Many times in my exoduses in and out of inflated or gentrified areas, Brooklyn, New Jersey, San Diego, in the USA, I have found that I read of Safe Place, a global peace index, and recommendations. About 1 million people having already read this too. So is Chile really already a blowout? No, I don't think so, because there's very few people here in relation to population density in Chile. If you're going to go to the city or live in a city, don't come here. Just a city is a city is a city. They have Santiago's a real big city, and they have some other big cities here as well. So if you're thinking about moving here, I don't think there are too many gringos here yet. Not like Panama or for instance Belize or Costa Rica. Lots of gringos there is my understanding. It's like small US, and kind of cliquish there, we've heard as well. Have I listened anonymous online in Joel Skosen? No, I haven't listened to Joel Skosen, but I have listened anonymous. What about Alex Jones? I've listened to him as well. They're talking about underground escape routes and other directions, and all in one way or another saying Chile. Also, Bible thumpers are saying Chile. Climate experts are saying Chile. Military experts, strategists, and scientists are saying go to Chile. Are you worried about other people coming here? Well, I'm going to tell you there will be other U.S. citizens coming here, and actually we've had a rise or influx. Lori and I have, my wife and I have had, of people inquiring with us since before and after the election in the United States. But there's less North Americans here than there are in North America, for one thing, and that's good. But I agree with you in many regards, because we don't want to ruin our little menagerie down here, our little safe planet, our ark, and we kind of like being alone here in that regard, and not having to worry about pleasing other Americans or being in a North American community. We do not live in a North American community per se, like a little subdivision or whatever you want to say, enclave. There's not a lot of expats in our area, and we like that. We know the ones that are in our area, or some of them, not all of them, but we don't seek them out as a general rule to go socialize with them. It just kind of happens, and it's usually not a daily basis, to say at least. I might not see another North American for a month or so. Depends on how things are going. Question number three. Chile seems mostly newly freed from a dictatorship. How safe are you in Chile and in the South? I'm really safe here. I'm more safe here than I think I was in the United States, except for when I was a little kid in South Carolina. And that's when South Carolina was mostly countryside and farms. And remember, that's where I'm at. I'm in the countryside, I'm in the farms. He goes on to ask in question number 3, many reports suggest that people who are rebels or guerrillas or whatever nestle in the south of Chile. Is it dangerous? No, it's not dangerous. I have Mapuche, they're called Mapuche Indians, and they're many of them are wonderful people. They're not the same politics I have for the most part, but they're good people. And where I'm at in this southern section, it's not a problem. More towards the Araucana section, they're a little bit north of us, about 2 or 3 hours. It's a little bit of a problem, because they're battling, the Mapuche are battling the the conglomerates, the lumber conglomerates and wood conglomerates, and the government's got their hand in that. And whenever the government has their hand in something, it's going to stink. Here, I know there's very little violent crime. The Chileans overall are pretty docile people. You won't get a lot of violent crime, knifing, or people trying to beat you up to take your money or something. They'll steal something if you leave it there or you don't protect it, especially in the city or on a bus where those people tend to congregate. But again, I've never really ran into that, and we've been here almost 4 years. 4 years is coming. To what extent are the residual and building tensions between the current leadership and the former? Well, there's 50-50 here, just like in the United States, and that's probably always the way it is. Percent of the people are in favor or conservative, and 50% are not. And actually, a more accurate description would probably be a third, and a third. A third of the people are conservative, a third of the people are liberal, and a third don't care either way. And that's how it was in the American Revolution as well, by the way. So right now, it's very calm here. There's no tensions. There's the government, I feel, is more stable than the U.S. government in many regards. You don't have people threatening people's lives for voting one way or another like they do right now with the electors in the United States. So, electoral college. Question number 4. How useful, flexible, and important is the option Chile USA dual citizenship? I think it's really important. If you choose not to pay taxes or go back to the U.S., and if you had a dual citizenship, then you could say, okay, well, you can't force me to go back to the United States. And actually, I qualify for that right now under, in some regards, under my permanent residency. I'm a permanent resident. They can't make me leave, or they can't make me go. They can make me leave. The U.S. government can't make me go back. How far apart am I from my neighbors? What is their truthful, honest response to having expats around? How are they regarding me, and what are your interactions in sharing local concerns? Man, my neighbors are awesome. They are just really nice people. They're God-fearing people. They're families. They're workers. They're farm workers. I trust most all of them, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't have to lock my doors too much here. I really don't. I don't lock my car when it's in the driveway. I leave things out, and as long as I'm here, I'm safe. Now, if I was to go for a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and they not see any activity, there'd be other people that would start helping themselves to your thing. So you need to be that way. Do they like gringos? They like North Americanos? Yes, they do. They really do. They treat us very fairly. Overall, I would say Chileans love North Americans. They are kind of in awe on us and what we have, and they want what the Americans have, which is a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing because they want the commercialism. Question number 6. Okay. He likes Puerto Montt, and he's asking me how much land costs, 6 to 12 acres or even 3 acres where I live. Land where I'm at is running about $4,000 an acre. Personally, I don't like Puerto Montt. Well, I can't say don't like. I don't like any city. But Puerto Montt is a big industrial city. It's not a tourist city. I go there to buy generator parts. I go there to buy seafood. I go there to pretty much that's kind of it. It's very an industrialized city. It's not particularly attractive. They do have a kind of a shoreline park, which you can walk along the waterfront in the bay there. But Puerto Montt's not somewhere I would run to. All right, question number 7. What is the water quality in the local rivers and streams? It's excellent. I don't think there's a lot of pollution here. You do have farm runoff, which is going to happen anywhere, but overall here the water is very clean, and that's evident by the large trout population they have, which are very particular about what they swim in and can survive in. There's my Thomas. As far as water and keeping water, there's no water rights there are water rights, but there's no necessity to buy water rights in the south of Chile at this point, because it rains so much here that water is not a scarce product. It's an this overly abundant product. It rains 100 inches here to 142 inches. It rains buckets in the winter. I mean, I got so much water, I don't have anywhere to put it. I put it in my pockets, you know, if I could, but it still got plenty of water. So you don't have to buy your water permits or water rights here. Now, in the central part of the Chile, in the northern part of Chile, you do need to buy water rights because it's a lot drier up there. It's an arid climate, and farther north is the Atacama Desert, which is the driest desert in the world. And in recorded history, they've never had rain. Okay, question number 8. He wants to know if I could talk about taxes and about farm animals and farming here. Basically, taxes are, if you're employed by someone, your employer pays your taxes. There are no property taxes unless you're a registered municipality. I have none on my land. My house is not registered with the municipality, so I don't pay any taxes. I have a friend who did register as taxes. He pays about $80 a year. Income taxes, you have to pay those if you're an employer or self-employed. Also, to open a business is a bit archaic. You must have an accountant here to do that. They do have LLCs. You can also have sole proprietorships, which you can do on your own. I don't recommend it. They are very strict about their taxes. You will pay taxes if you open a business, and they want to make sure that you do pay your taxes. You don't pay your taxes, they come in, they shut your business down, or they fine you. It's a little more archaic, but it's less restrictive than the U.S. in some regards because they don't have as much legislation. And but their IRS, which is SII, is just as evil as the IRS. So you can't really play around too much there. Farm animals, you can have them. There's no restrictions on them. They're perfectly legal. People kill their own. They slaughter them and butcher them. They sell them to people. There's kind of like a little black market of animals, but it's not black at market. It's perfectly legal. Pigs, cows, chickens, sheep, ducks are really big, and I actually, while I was filming this today, I sold a pig today for $50, a piglet. Somebody drove in, I know the lady, she beeped the horn, I walked out, sold her a piglet, bada bing, bada boom. Sometimes I kill the piglet for them and charge them an extra $10. But anyways, it's really simple here with animals. Question number 9. Can you discuss the effects of city smog on your area? There is none. I have no smog. I can't even smell SMOG, smog. There's nothing. If you're in a big city to the north, there's smog. I've never seen smog. Now, there's a city about 45-minute drive away, and that's pure country driving with no stoplights. And they have fog, not smog, because there's two rivers that join each other there, and they cause a temperature inversion, and there's fog. Never smog there. Okay? Santiago does have smog, and it has a problem because it's in a huge valley with the Andes on either side, or all it's in between it, and it just sits there. And we know people, and we've been there and gotten, you get sick. Don't go to Santiago to live. Bad idea. It's just a big city where they speak Spanish. If you want to go to a big city to live where they speak Spanish, go to Miami. Just the same. No different. I would stay away from Santiago. We have so many friends that have moved there that are not city people, and they hate it the whole time they're there, and they end up hating Chile because Santiago to them is all of what Chile is, and it's not. We stayed there a month, and that was too much. And I'm not a city boy, so in all fairness to Santiago, I'm sure it's a wonderful city, but I don't like any cities. I don't even like the word city. It's too much like the word sit. I don't like cities. So that was question number 9. 10. Also, volcano pollutants. Well, it's really cool is when a volcano blows the top, and if you go back and look, you can see a video that I did on a volcano here that blew Calbuco about a year ago. And what happens is the Andes are here, and the volcanoes are right here in the Andes on our side, and in the Andes as well. That's what the Andes are made up of. And when they blow their top, the wind blows it east over Argentina. The poor stupid Argentinians, they get all of the pollutants, all of the, if you want to call it pollutants, all of the ash and typically whatever from when a volcano blows here. If you're really close, like living on the volcano, you're going to get ash. You're going to not be happy camper. We got a light kind of dusting. It was just dust on our car when volcano blew, and it's about 40 miles away, and you could watch and it looked like it was in our backyard. So it was beautiful. It was the most awesome, most powerful thing I've ever seen in my life, and it makes you really wonder and awe the beauty of our planet and the gifts God has given us and how great He is. Do they have chemtrails? Is that really anything? I don't know. I don't go down the chemtrail thing. We do have jets that leave contrails above us. If they've got chemicals pollution in them, that's fine, but it's extremely rare. Not a lot of aircraft traffic here where I'm at, to say the least. Some small airplanes. There is a friend of mine down the road has a little Piper that he flies out of a grass runway in front of his house, and that's kind of it. And that wouldn't be a chemtrail thing. That'd be just him up there buzzing around. Okay. 12. Unbelievable nuke detonation tests have stripped the western U.S. like no other country. Russia, Australia all seem to have their tests. My concern around in research is that the U.S. and France especially have nuked the heck out of the South Pacific Ocean. It is super far in the middle of the ocean, but has it shown up in Chile? No, it hasn't shown up here. Are there dead fish? Yes, they're dead fish, but they aren't caused by that. They're caused by the red tide, which is caused by other things. And they had a fish die off of the salmon industry, and they dropped all those fish in the ocean, and they washed back inshore. They should have plowed them into some pasture and used them as fertilizer. They didn't. We don't have bleached coral here that I know of. We don't have that high cancer rate of that I know of. It's Question number 13. Is Chile at risk of being part of the Rothschild banking clan, U.S. finance, all that? You watched a video, you're saying, Robert says here, of a guy screaming at the top of his lungs at J.P. Morgan, leave Chile. I agree with him. Get the hell out of Chile. Yes, you're at risk of that. You're not going to get away from that anywhere on this planet. There's no way around it. So not good news there, but there's nowhere else you can go either. So 14. What type of president was Bachelet? Is she just a PC promotion? Here she was a lot like Hillary. Yes, she was. She's not the best president. She's still in there. She got about a year. She's used to be a communist terrorist. She still is. She's also a doctor. I don't know how you can be a terrorist and a doctor at the same time, but she was. Okay. Don't much like Bachelet, but the good thing is that 50% of the side is conservative and 50% is socialist. So they keep her in balance. And she realized you have to have business to have the money to be able to finance your social program. So she doesn't mess with business too much. Question number 15. Since it hasn't been 5 years and the honeymoon's not over, do I think I'll still be here in 5 to 20 years? Yeah. I think that there's so much more opportunity here in Chile than there is in the United States for me and my family that I definitely see myself here. It's more secure, it's safer, the government's more secure, the economy's secure. I don't see me ever leaving. I'm picking out a plot to put a box for me to be buried in. Question number 16. Can you discuss car buying? Yeah, I can. Don't bring in a car. Buy a car here. You're going to pay about 56%, 50% more here because of their silly tax situation. But if you brought in one, they're going to charge you even more in taxes. So the grand news is that if you buy a car here, for instance, I bought my car, which is a 2007. I paid $18,000 for it, the same as American, in American dollars, and I would sell it for about $18,000, and I've been driving it for 3 years. So there. He wants to know, a question, this is a little more specific to Robert, is he wants to know if he can do media work here in Chile. There's a big business for it. Anything you can bring in, you can do in your brain, and it's great. I don't think there'll be any problem with you opening a business here doing media stuff. It's wide open. They don't know anything about it, not like in the United States. So, video, the whole thing is just great. Also, if you bring in a computer, you shouldn't have any problems either. Just make sure it's used, anything you bring in. Question number 18. Cars. Is there a registration? Smog, car insurance, Geico? Yes, there is registration. All cars, even trailers, like you pull behind you, have license plates on them. Farm tractors have license plates on them. You must register your car, and you pay in taxes in your municipality you live in. That covers the road tax and stuff like that, property tax on your car. There is car insurance. You do not have to get commercial car insurance. You do have to buy government car insurance, which basically is $10 a year, and that is really just a tax. It doesn't insure you for anything. It's just another name for a stupid tax. And the car insurance here is really good. It covers 3 times as much as what's covered in the U.S. Do we have a AAA here? No, you don't have AAA. You don't see a lot of tow trucks. What you see is what I call a Chilean tow truck, which is one Chilean towing another car with a rope. And you see it on the interstate, and it's perfectly legal. See it all over. Question number 19. Fuel sounds really expensive. It is. Don't buy a gas car. Buy a diesel car. That's my best advice. Diesel costs half as much here as it does for gas, and gas here $6, so it's about $4 here for diesel. Buy diesel. Okay, question number 20. What's the step-by-step procedure for hooking up to Wi-Fi internet? You go to the internet provider, you provide them with your temporary residency, you have to have that. They sell you a plan, and they sell you a router with a chip. I pay about 45,000 pesos a month. They do have fiber optic in the towns, the smaller towns even, but I'm over through the cellular network, and it works pretty well for me. I don't have the fastest one out there, but it's not outrageously expensive, and it's been getting cheaper and getting faster as we've been here. When I first got here, they didn't have internet at all where I was at. 21 was the average cost of hay bales in the farm areas of Chile. I'm going to say about $100 for one of those big round ones, but I don't know for sure. I don't buy hay. The grass stays green here year round, and I can fertilize enough to keep my animals fed, and so I haven't had to buy hay. Question 22, are mopeds and scooters common in the farm territory? No, they aren't, but dirt bikes are, and they're real common. And you can ride them on the road here. Even the police, the Carabinero, drive dirt bikes. Question 23, what is the cost of propane? It's expensive, don't use it. I heat my water with my wood stove, and you can see the video I did on that. And I also use a solar hot water heater. You can't beat them. I cook on a wood stove, but some people cook with propane, and that would be an instance where I would recommend it if you want that quick, easy, ready way to heat up things and not having to start a fire in your wood stove. Question 24, are there strict rules for downloading videos? Nope, no rules. It's like Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. Question 25. I edit, download silent films. Is a big brother going to heavily monitor what I do online? Nope. They don't care. They don't have that sort of big brother here, not like the U.S. They don't have the money. They don't have the people. They don't have the time. And they really don't care. But be aware, the United States does monitor every one of your phone calls in Chile. Question 26. Is seafood and sushi safe? Yep. I've had both, and they've done pretty well. Question 27, are there allowances, government allowances, codes of conduct that I've not read about yet? Well, there are for driving. In driving, you have to keep in mind that the pedestrians always have the right of way, and because of that, you need to keep that in mind. Don't drink and drive. They put you in jail, and don't speak. Not a good idea. Question 28, what is the level of media coverage on politics? And 29, the paparazzi, how influential are they? Those are together. I'm going to put them together. I don't watch TV here, so I really can't answer that. But if it has anything to do with the women's breast, it'll be on television here. It's mild pornography. I don't watch it. Part of question 28 is how is police corruption? They look like soldiers? The police here are the Carabineros. They're very good, they're very honest, and they're incorruptible in my opinion. The ones that I know are really good guys, and they're family, God-fearing people, and I think the world of them. There may be bad Carabineros in some of the cities and stuff I've heard of, but I've never run into one. Question 30. Have you seen much demand for English teachers in the farm areas? The Chileans really want to learn how to speak English, so yeah, that's important to them. So it can be done. Question 31. I use my hands a lot and I can have lots of skills, and am I employable? Basically, yeah, if you can do anything with your hands, you got a job here. You got to show up, be sober, and you got a job on a regular period. Question 32. If I'm bringing computer equipment and hard drives, etc., will the government look at them? Want to see what's on them? No, they won't, not unless you give them some suspect to, I say, but typically no. If you come in with a laptop, as long as it's used or whatever, they don't have a problem. They may ask you to turn on a computer to see if it's going to come up with welcome to Windows screen, for a new computer, but otherwise, if it's a used computer, you shouldn't have any problem. I buy all my computers in the U.S. They're cheaper there. The technology is more current, and I have my son or my daughter bring them when they visit. You can, of course, order all that online, and it's going to be a lot. It's going to come direct to you, but I choose to do it the other way. Well, thanks for joining me today at this question and answer period. Sorry for the long video. If you have any questions, please ask. We've had about 3 families come through in the past month to look at Chile, and we helped them out. We assisted them, and I was happy to do that. And if you like to do that, please contact me at jim.dorchak@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to help you out too. Or better yet, ask questions in the question comment section underneath this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Appreciate your time. Ciao from Chile.